In the 1960s, some very expensive scientists conducted an experiment to see how much abuse a primate would take for a snack. They gave a colony of monkeys a button. Press it, get a grape. Simple. But then, because scientists are essentially professional trolls, they changed the rules. They made the button deliver a grape 50% of the time, and a painful electric shock the other 50%. Now, a rational creature would look at those odds and go find a banana instead. But that's not what happened. The monkeys went absolutely mental. They stopped grooming. They stopped sleeping. They spent all day frantically smashing that button, vibrating with anxiety, hoping for a grape and screaming when they got zapped. They became so addicted to the uncertainty that they forgot how to be monkeys. Their social structure collapsed. Their communication turned into meaningless shrieks, and they basically turned into a 1960s version of a Twitter thread. Sound familiar? Congratulations. You've moved out of the jungle and into a digital Skinner box. But instead of grapes, you're chasing likes. Instead of electric shocks, you're getting 24-hour news cycles engineered to turn your anxiety into a renewable energy source. The world isn't getting dumber by accident. We've just collectively decided that being a stressed-out lab rat with a high-speed data plan is progress. We have more information than any civilization in history, and we're using it to watch videos of people eating 50 pounds of spicy noodles or arguing with strangers about things we didn't care about 10 minutes ago. We've traded critical thinking for group screaming. In the next 13 minutes, we're going to perform an autopsy on the modern mind. I'm going to show you how your brain is being harvested for parts, why common sense is now a rare superpower, and how to reclaim your intellect before your attention span officially becomes shorter than that of a caffeinated goldfish. My name is Marcus, and today, we're going to find out why the world is getting dumber and why you're currently paying for the privilege. We used to think ignorance was a lack of information. We thought that if we gave every human on Earth a library in their pocket, we'd have a second renaissance. We thought the internet would be a global brain. Turns out it's more of a global appendix, a useless, inflamed organ that occasionally explodes and kills the host. The problem isn't that you don't know enough. The problem is that you know too much about things that don't matter. Your brain has a finite amount of RAM, and right now, 90% of it is being used to store the opinions of people you don't like, the lyrics to songs you didn't choose to hear, and the shocking reasons why a celebrity you've never met is getting a divorce. This is the high-speed lobotomy. In the old days, to get someone to stop thinking, you had to physically remove a piece of their brain. Today, you just have to give them a 5G connection and an infinite scroll. We've replaced thinking with processing. When you see a headline, you don't ask, "Is this true?" or "What is the context?" Your brain simply performs a quick vibe check. Does this make me feel superior? Does this give me an excuse to be angry? If yes, you hit share and your job is done. You aren't a philosopher, you're a digital relay station. You're just passing the signal along without ever opening the package to see what's inside. And the platforms love it. They don't want you to be critical. A critical thinker is a slow user. A critical thinker reads the whole article, checks the sources, and decides not to click the related content. That's a nightmare for the algorithm. The algorithm wants you fast, reactive, and just a little bit stupid. It wants you in a state of continuous partial attention, where you're aware of everything, but understand absolutely nothing. We've become a civilization of aperture thinkers. We can see the world, but only through a 6-inch window, and only for as long as our data plan allows. We've traded the deep mind for the butterfly mind, flitting from one bright, shiny outrage to the next, never landing long enough to actually feed on the truth. You think you're informed because you've read 500 tweets today. But 500 tweets aren't a perspective. They're just 500 pieces of a puzzle from 10 different boxes. You're not building a worldview, you're just playing in the static. And while you're distracted by the noise, your ability to handle any idea that can't be summarized in a meme is dying. We are losing the vocabulary for complexity. We are losing the patience for nuance. We are becoming functionally illiterate, not because we can't read, but because we've forgotten why we should. You've probably heard the statistic that the human attention span is now shorter than that of a goldfish. 8 seconds. First of all, that's an insult to goldfish. They've been successfully navigating the ocean for millions of years. You can't even navigate a grocery store without checking your phone for a top 10 list of which apples to buy. But the goldfish fallacy hides a darker truth. It's not that your attention span is shorter. It's that your threshold for boredom has been lowered to 0. We have deleted boredom from the human experience, and in doing so, we have deleted the birthplace of original thought. Boredom is the default mode of the brain. It's when your mind starts to wander, to synthesize ideas, to solve problems, and to question the status quo. By filling every boring second, the elevator ride, the line at the bank, the red light with digital noise, you are effectively starving your brain of its own creativity. You are Pavlovically training yourself to never be alone with your own thoughts. Why think your own thought when there are a billion others available for rent on your screen? It's easier to be a consumer of pre-packaged opinions than it is to be a producer of one original insight. You aren't getting dumber because you're losing facts. You're getting dumber because you're losing the quiet required to process them. You're a high-performance computer that's being used to run 1,000 background apps at once. Your fan is spinning, your battery is draining, and you're overheating, all for a bunch of processes you didn't even start. We usually think of stupid as a lack of IQ. We think it's the person who can't do long division, or the one who believes the earth is flat. But in 1976, an economist named Carlo Cipolla realized that the world's greatest threat isn't the evil person, it's the stupid one. He developed the 5 basic laws of human stupidity, and looking at them today feels like reading a pre-flight checklist for a plane that's already crashing. Cipolla divided humanity into 4 groups. The helpless, they benefit others but hurt themselves. The intelligent, they benefit themselves and others. The bandits, they benefit themselves by hurting others. The stupid, and here is Cipolla's definition of a stupid person: someone who causes losses to another person or a group of persons while himself deriving no gain and even possibly incurring losses. The bandit is rational. If someone steals your wallet, they are $100 richer. It's annoying, but it makes sense. But a stupid person will slash your tires, even if it means they'll be late for work too. They will burn down the forest just to see the flames, oblivious to the fact that they are standing in the middle of it. And here is the brutal law. Always and inevitably, everyone underestimates the number of stupid individuals in circulation. You think you're surrounded by rational actors. You think that if you just present enough facts and logic to the internet, people will change their minds. You are hopelessly naive. You are trying to play chess with a pigeon. The pigeon is going to knock over the pieces, defecate on the board, and then strut around like it won anyway. The internet has become a super collider for stupidity. In the past, the village idiot was confined to the village. He'd shout at a cow. The cow would ignore him, and life went on. Today, the village idiot has a megaphone and a global audience. He can find 10,000 other idiots, form a digital tribe, and suddenly, their collective delusion is treated as a valid alternative perspective. We have democratized the right to be wrong, and because stupidity is louder, faster, and more engaging than intelligence, the stupid quadrant of Cipolla's graph is currently colonizing the other 3. We are losing the ability to distinguish between a subjective opinion and an objective fact because we've been told that everyone's voice deserves to be heard. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Some voices are just noise, and right now, the noise is winning because our brains are being fried by the ping and our culture is being dominated by Cipolla's idiots. We have lost the most important tool in the human toolkit: nuance. Now let me introduce you to the binary trap. Intelligence is the ability to see the cylinder. Stupidity is the 2 shadows screaming at each other that the other is lying. We have become a team-based civilization. We no longer ask, is this idea good? We ask, which team said it? If Team A says the sky is blue, Team B will insist it's actually a social construct or a globalist conspiracy, just to avoid agreeing with the enemy. We have replaced thinking with signaling. You don't hold an opinion to find the truth. You hold it to show your tribe that you are a loyal soldier. This is the death of the dialectic. A dialectic is when two people with opposing views talk until they find a higher truth. Today, we just have the echo. You are being trained to be a binary processor, 1 or 0. Right or left, pro or anti. There's no room for maybe, I don't know, or it's complicated. But the real world is complicated. The real world exists in the gray. By forcing everything into a 15-second, us versus them format, the platforms have effectively deleted the middle ground. And the middle ground is where the adults live. The edges are for children and extremists. But since the edges get all the views, we've built a world that looks like a high-stakes playground fight where everyone has nuclear weapons. You aren't a critical thinker if you only criticize the other side. That's just being a fan with a grudge. A real thinker is someone who is most critical of themselves. But self-critique is slow, it's painful, and it doesn't get likes. It's much easier to just stay in the trap, press the button, and wait for your next hit of righteous indignation. So here we are. The world is a burning circus. The pigeons are winning at chess, and your brain is currently being used as a space heater for a data center in Virginia. What do? You become an intellectual insurgent. The first step is the hardest. You have to stop being current. The news cycle is designed to keep you in a state of temporal panic. It wants you to feel like if you don't have an opinion on a tweet from 3 minutes ago, you're falling behind. You aren't. You're just refusing to be a part of the noise. Adopt a 24-hour lag. If something is breaking news, wait a day to read about it. By the time 24 hours have passed, 90% of the outrage will have evaporated. The facts will have actually emerged, and the idiots will have moved on to the next shiny object. You don't need to be first. You need to be right. Second, stop feeding your mind digital junk food. If you want to reclaim your attention span, you have to stop reading things that were written to be consumed in 60 seconds. Read dead authors. Why? Because their ideas have survived the sieve of time. A book that has been relevant for 500 years has more nutritional value for your brain than 500 million tweets. Dead authors aren't trying to sell you a subscription or get engagement. They are just offering you the truth as they saw it. Third, and most importantly, kill the fanatic. If you find yourself agreeing with 100% of what your team says, you aren't a thinker. You're a parrot. Intellectual sovereignty means being the most uncomfortable person in your own tribe. It means being willing to say, I don't know enough to have an opinion on that. In the age of the idiot, I don't know is a superpower. It is the ultimate defense against the binary trap. It is the sound of a mind that is still under its own control. The world isn't going to get smarter. The algorithms are only going to get better at finding the electric shock button in your brain. The collective stupidity of the hive mind is a runaway train, and there are no brakes. But you don't have to be on the tracks. You can step off. You can reclaim your 4,000 weeks. You can rebuild the deep mind through silence, focus, and the brutal rejection of the ping. It's going to be lonely. When everyone else is screaming at shadows, your silence will look like a threat. When everyone else is reacting, your stillness will look like a glitch. Let it. The age of the idiot is only a prison if you value the opinion of the prisoners. Stop being useful to the hive. Start being dangerous to the status quo. My name is Marcus, and if you've watched this far, congratulations. You've just had a longer attention span than 99% of the population. Now go do something boring. Your brain will thank you for it.